Hello and welcome to our July garden tour. This is our mid-July garden tour. It's sort of our midsummer garden tour. And it is just such a beautiful time of year. I'm so happy. I don't know if you can hear this on the microphone, but there are bees, bumblebees everywhere. Some of them are starting to fall asleep for the evening. We're in the early evening right now in dusk, which is a beautiful time in the garden, time of day. But oh my gosh, they are all over the place in the blue salvia. They are just all over the place. It's so lovely to have these little garden fairies here fluttering around. We have the Indian, I think it's the Indian spring mix of the hollyhocks that's starting to bloom. So I planted these from seed this year, and they're obviously a first year bloomer. Biennial, but yeah, I'm just loving them. I think in the last garden tour they were just all budded up, and now they're starting to bloom. So that's really encouraging, and they look beautiful, and the bumblebees love going in there. So that's really nice. On our rose arbor, if you want to take a look at this, the roses aren't doing great, but this heavenly blue morning glory is doing spectacularly well. It looks so happy. All of our morning glory is taking off, and it's just so lovely. I mean, you can see here it's being eaten, but they're just making it lacy, adding a little doily detail there. But yeah, oh my gosh, everything is just doing so well. So we have our sedums. Look how giant these are. I mean, these are just incredible, beautiful autumn joy sedums. And you know, we have those repeated, and we've planted 2 more to replace the phlox. So I'll show you that as we meander on down our path, which we still haven't done, but it'll happen. All of our annuals are looking fantastic, flanking the path here. They look beautiful. Our dahlias are looking good. They're getting eaten by the Japanese beetle has arrived, has come to town. And so the roses, the second sort of flush of roses, and the dahlias are being eaten along with a lot of other things. But, you know, we go with it. They're so funny, like when they're just standing still, they kind of do a bunch of yoga poses. Like they'll have like one arm and one leg out, flying dog or whatever. So the hillside is looking so beautiful. The annuals are starting to come in. The buddleia is blooming, which is really lovely. The salvias are attracting hummingbirds every single day. And then up by the fence, all of those beautiful Queen Anne's lace umbellifers are just freckling that area up there, and it's beautiful. Our hydrangea, that's a quick fire, and that one is already starting to even blush out a little bit in the petals. The white, those really beautiful creamy white petals are starting to turn, and they are just gorgeous. The white campion is sparkling beautifully. Oh, the cerinthe that I planted from seed. I did a bunch of annual cerinthe and status. Those are blooming. The cerinthe is gorgeous. Blue-green foliage with those purpley iridescent bell-shaped flowers. It's so beautiful. It looks very wild and very natural. And it's actually, I didn't know that some of the wild Queen Anne's lace it's not super wild, but you know, it was growing here naturally. And I spread the seeds for it. Is actually growing right in front of the cerinthe, so you can't really see it very well. So our tripods are looking glorious. They have different types of beans, and also those different morning glories as well. The morning glories are purple with almost a red kind of stripes on the inside, a burgundy stripe. They are gorgeous. I really love them. As you can see, not too terribly many blooms, but still looking gorgeous. There's 2 different types of morning glory, which we only got 1 type, so I'm wondering what's happening there. I think there happened to be several types. One of them has a very fuzzy leaf and vine, and the other one has a very smooth, kind of classic morning glory, that smooth kind of vine. And one of them is more blue-green, and one of them is more standard green. But I just love those heart-shaped leaves. I think they're so beautiful, like a philodendron almost. Yeah, but look at our annuals. Oh my gosh, they're looking so good. I think this is the best that they've ever looked, our annuals. I mean, if you can just see how beautiful they look. You know, granted, they are being, you know, eaten by things, but because they grow so like voraciously. They are just such crazy growers. They just grow like crazy. They're competing with how hungry all of the bugs are here in the woodlands. We have such a wild garden. But our echinacea, look at this. Our echinacea, our rose is blooming. But yeah, oh my gosh, I just love that. It's the best it's looked. So we divided the echinaceas that were here in this small little area in front of the house. We divided them and they were looking tall, maybe 1 or 2 blooms. When we divided them last year, they had, again, just a couple of blooms. And this year, they are looking amazing. And touch wood, they don't have any powdery mildew yet. So that's really good. I love this color combination, that blue salvia with the orange and the purple. I think that, I mean, it's like pink, but the echinacea purpurea, beautiful, like magenta and orange with the blue. I think that's so, so nice. And I love how different they look in their different forms. You know, when they first come out, they're like this, and then they come like this, and then they look like badminton birdies. Our blue or purple, excuse me, purple kale is looking gorgeous. It's funny, on this side it's more purple, our curly kale, we have that throughout the garden. And then on this side it's more blue-green. So that's funny. But oh my goodness, look at these beautiful Queen Anne's lace. Oh, I cannot get enough of these. The pollinators love them. And we just sit out here and have our tea, and it's just so, so nice. Oh, here our balloon flower is blooming, which is just so nice. It didn't love the heat that we've had the past few days, so it's starting to die back a little bit, but look at those. Aren't those fun? And so I don't know if you can see this. They almost look like fake, you know, like fake jewels from like a, I don't know, like the Robin Hood cartoon. Like this kind of reminds me of the jewels that they steal, like if that was a ring. But doesn't that sort of look like that? Like a kind of like a gemstone? I don't know if that's translating at all, but anyway, they're so pretty. And these look like little fairy hats. Wow. I love the Hoopla Vivid Orchid, and they just look so beautiful. I love that they're almost purple, but I think this combination is really sweet together. These balloon flowers with that Hoopla. Hi, little Bumble. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about everything. Let's see. Oh, our Russian sage. I didn't show you this. Our Russian sage is blooming. Look at that. Oh, it's so nice. I love the smell of that foliage. Oh, it's so like fresh. It almost weirdly has like kind of a Christmassy scent to it. It's so nice. The echinaceas on this side are looking just as happy. So let's see, the edibles that we have this year are the kale, a couple different types of beans, and cabbages. And I think that's it for ornamentals or edibles this year. That was the hummingbird. He just came by in front of the camera. He's on the buddleia. Oh, he's Kim. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I love him so much. So, okay, first of all, I love our hummingbirds. They are amazing, and they create these little tiny, like, thimble like sized little nests. And they have one over there up in the trees. It'll be impossible for you to see it, but oh my gosh, they're so sweet. And they come in and they land on the different plant stakes that we have. And there's 2 of them that come every single day, all throughout the day. They're just hanging out here all day. And it's 1 male and 1 female, and they're just so, so special looking. They're so cute and sweet, and I love them. But speaking of birds, we have a family of little birds, 3 baby birds on our porch, and the nest is made out of moss. You guys, it's so sweet. I love it so much. Every morning we're super quiet whenever we open the door, and we come out and I talk to them. And I stay really far away, but the mama bird comes and she feeds them. It's like, this is like I'm like living the life of my dreams. I'm so happy. Our phlox is about to start blooming. You know, it was looking really poorly for a minute there in terms of the powdery mildew, but it looks better now. So we're just gonna wait and see what happens. But I love how the phlox looks when it's first coming out. It's got this one, it has a purple stem, and against that kind of vibrant green, it looks really gorgeous. And this is a purple one. The one over there has come back white, which it was purple last year. So it's a curiosity. We've transplanted, or planted rather, some sedum here, and we transplanted our phlox onto the hill. So we divided the phlox and we planted them on the hill. So I think that'll be really beautiful. But the problem was, like I explained in that video, is that, you know, they came out and they bloomed beautifully. This was one of the first, the phlox here were the first that we ever had, the first plants that we planted in this garden. So this was all just rough lawn, and we first created these borders out using the rocks that we dug up as the edging. And we planted 2 phlox here, and they had gotten enormous and so beautiful, but they would bloom beautifully soft purple for, I mean, about 2 to 4 weeks, and in the early summer, and they looked stunning and they were such a showstopper. But then they would die back, and almost immediately their foliage would just look terrible. So we'd have to cut them back to the ground. They would be filled with like so much rust, so much powdery mildew, and then we'd cut them back to the ground. And then there's kind of like nothing happening in a large area right in the sort of the center of our garden for pretty much the rest of the season. They didn't really bloom again. They did like sporadic blooming, but nothing much. So we decided to repeat the autumn joys that we have throughout the borders here, and I think that'll be a really nice repetition. I'm considering moving these phlox as well onto the hilly meadow, so let me know these phlox that are throughout the border as well. We'll see. We'll see. Let me actually show you our porch, just because I think it looks really nice. So I don't think I'm going to show you onto our porch, but I just want to show you the blue walk. It is looking so nice. I love how this purpley border looks. So it's all blues and purples, and then it's kind of freckled throughout with some dusty miller. And I just love it. So it's turned out super well. I mean, some of the verbena, weirdly, this year is like, I really leaned heavy on the verbena in this area, and it's not doing great in terms of blooms. Not terribly, as you can see. It's blooming a lot. It's just last year we got a lot more blooms, and some of the verbena have died back completely, which is strange, very strange for us here. So I think we just got a bad batch. These pots are doing really well. These salvias, the hummingbirds are just obsessed with. And I'm so glad I have to come in and deadhead these. But yeah, those are looking great. The rest of the pots, you know, they're getting eaten, but yeah, I'm not going to be a broken record this time, and I'm just gonna, you know, they're getting eaten, but they're doing really well and they look beautiful. Here is our mallow. This is a prairie mallow. One of my favorite perennials. Obviously our foxgloves have gone over, but I'm waiting until they all completely go over so that we can shake the seeds out back here, because I want to just repeat those foxgloves back in the back of the border there. They get so tall and they're so pretty. But yeah, this prairie mallow is just gorgeous. I love that soft, delicate pink. That sort of cool pink is so nice. Oh, we've cut stuff back in here and everything is looking glorious. But look at these hollyhocks. This is the champagne peach, I think. Champagne apricot, something like that. Hollyhock. And isn't that gorgeous? That champagne in the title is so perfect to describe that, because it does almost look like it's bubbling or frothing. It's so beautiful. And I just love having these here. I also love how they look when they're about to open, because that soft green with the peach, I think, is such a stunning color combination. they just look so perfect. I don't know how to describe it, but I have them all throughout the back of this border, and I think that was a really good idea, if I do say so myself. This salvia, this is a perennial salvia here. This is called the East Friesland. If I'm making plant tags, I should probably be able to read them. That's kind of key. But yeah, this was completely covered by the sedum that we had here that we divided over there and put in the border earlier in the season. Not the ones here, but the ones in the middle of the border that are looking like they've been there for years. It was just the one sedum that was here that was not getting enough sun, so it was sort of splayed out, very leggy and not looking super happy. So I dug it up, I divided it, put it in that border, and it's thriving. It looks so happy. But now this, which was completely covered by that, I thought it had completely died, is back. And I'm hoping that it just kind of recovers from the weight of the sedum and starts to do its own thing. Look at our Dalmatian peach foxgloves. Yow, isn't that pretty? Look at the little bumbles going in and out. Aren't those gorgeous? I just love them. Okay. So, oh, I want to show you down here. Actually, yeah, let's go down here. Let me show you this little path too. Okay, so here's our little path. We have snapdragons and some dusty miller along that little path, little helter-skelter path. And the snapdragons I've cut back, those were kind of flopping over in all of our rain. They're a white, like a creamy white snapper. And our Nepeta is looking beautiful. Over here we have our hyssop, our purple hyssop is starting to bloom. That's another one. That's probably, in terms of perennials, that is the #1 hummingbird attractor. They just love those. So we went heavy on those this year, and we have a few more that we've placed, and we're just sort of testing those out now, and we're going to plant those a little bit later. So we removed our lilac, and that was a big decision because it was like the only thing here in this border when we moved in. And we removed that, replaced it with a weeping white spruce, which I'm so glad that we did that because now everything in this bed is getting the light that it wants. The hydrangeas looking so much happier. The hyssops are looking great. And look, the echinacea, which has never bloomed since we planted it, is finally blooming. Now it just needs to have a conversation with our achillea, our yarrow here, because these, while they are much bigger than they were last year, no blooms. No blooms. Do you have any idea why that might be? Please share. The hummingbird's back. Okay, anyway. I have a few perennials placed in here that I'm just sort of playing around with. I like to place them and then move around and just sort of see what I like most. Yeah, I really like our little gate there. We still haven't put the rails on here, but just ignore that for now. But we did plant up this border, and you guys, I think it's so beautiful. So we have a repetition of our local nursery was having like this crazy deal. It was like buy 2 get 1 free, or something. It was some kind of like crazy deal. So we got a bunch of plants for our top annuals video, and we had so many, so we planted a bunch of them in the border, and I'm so grateful that we did that because this just looks wonderful. I love the repetition of that coleus. We have the apple blossom double impatient, which is just looking so pretty, and yeah, it's so nice. I love it. And the astilbes are starting to bloom here. These are like the purple spire astilbes that are just gorgeous. More hyssops here. This is a hyssop that was in the mailbox bed, and it is just a lovely blue color. Our dahlias are, yeah, they're not doing great here, but I'll show you in the veggie patch. They're doing a little bit better over there. So here our fairy roses are just looking so beautiful. This whole area is looking really good. Here's my idea. I know right now they just look so beautiful and so wonderful, and they're one of my favorite roses, honestly. They just perform so beautifully here. But they are looking a little wild, and so I had an idea of what I think I'm gonna do instead is I think I'm gonna put these on the hillside. I mentioned this before, but where they have a little bit more of a chance to kind of do their thing and look as kind of as wild as they want, because that's a very meadowy area. And they can kind of like, they're not rambling roses, but they have a little bit of that structure, a little bit of that habit to them. And so, at least here. And so I thought that would be really nice up there. So they can, even when the evergreens start to really fill in that space, they can kind of peek through and make their way through that hillside. I think it would look beautiful. And to have a little bit more structure here. The ivory halo dogwoods, they're a wonderful backdrop, and they create these beautiful mounds. Our perennials in the front create these beautiful mounds, all of them. And so I thought maybe we could do a small hydrangea, maybe something like there was a lace cap. It's like a purpley blue lace cap that I was looking at that stays that's 2 by 2. I think it's like 18 inches to 2 feet by the same wide. And I think that would be so pretty to have repeated here where these roses are. So one there, one there, one there, and then one there in this gap where I was waiting to get another fairy rose. So we have right now 1, 2, 3, 4 fairy roses. So replacing those and then adding 2 more. I think that would look really nice. The roses, it's just a big question mark because we have so many things that want to eat the roses here. And you know, roses just aren't very common in our area for that reason. But yeah, that's just a thought that I've been having. All of these annuals that we did along the front, I love them. I think they look so, so beautiful. This wisteria, Rocapolco impatient, double impatient, that is just so gorgeous. Just looking like a little rose, looking like a little miniature rose. So beautiful. The Browalia. Hi, friend. The Browalia is looking gorgeous. I have to do a little bit of cutback and maintenance in this border, but yeah, things are looking good. So this little blank space is where I was saving that to put a fairy rose, so that's where I would do the hydrangea. I can't remember the name of it right now. I was just showing you that. Do you remember what it was called? No? Well, maybe I'll share it on the screen, but maybe not because I don't have it. So, but these hydrangeas are looking spectacular. These are our Pinky Winky hydrangea standards. And I just love that ivory color. They are so soft and white, just this creamy white. So, so nice. And I love the buds. I just think it's such a romantic looking plant. And I love that structure. I just love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, this one's a little bit more in bud. That one's blooming a little bit more, but still it's starting, which is so nice. Our sun patiens are looking great. The coleus is looking great. Our hostas are still looking really good. I had to chop back the daisies, but yeah, everything's looking wonderful. Our window boxes, geranium is so nice, the Spessart geranium. Our window boxes are looking really good. Those ones over there are looking happier than these. These ones look a little bit spindly because they're not getting as much sun, but they still look really, really good. This whole bed is beautiful. It's such a nice shady bed and I really love it. The Canterbury bells were looking good. I just realized, I don't know if I shared this before, but I had planted some Dara, Daucus. It's an umbellifer, like an Ammy. And I can't remember what this one is called, but I had planted this mix. Oh, hi, chipmunk. So I had planted this mix the first year that we were here, and it didn't come up. And then finally, it's blooming. It's a dark kind of burgundy, and then this soft pink. I think that's really pretty, you know, and now that we have this here, this beautiful hydrangea here, this lace cap, they're getting lost completely, but isn't that fun? And then we have our Canterbury bells. Beautiful little Canterbury bells, which are still blooming and acting like a ground cover, which is not what they're meant to do. Our hostas here and our impatiens are all looking lovely. Our heuchera is looking great. I need to cut these back. These anemones, this is the Canadian windflower, Canadian anemones, and they are so, so pretty. I love that foliage, and I love the lily of the valley in the background. It's such a beautiful ground cover. The morning glory is growing up this. So the first year that we were here, the first year that we had like a full growing season here, we planted Morning Glory from seed and it went all the way over and it was just huge. No blooms. I don't think we get enough sun back here, but it just was one of my favorite things about the garden, and now we have it again. It's really doing so well. So that's lovely. Here we have a few more of this. This is the French lace cap. Invincible lace is just all budded up and just looking gorgeous. And the pollinators love it, especially when it's like this. This is their jam. So you see the difference between this? This is like sort of fuzzy before it turns like that color. I don't know if you can tell, but this one is their favorite. When it's that pink, and I love that too. That's so nice. But they're just like all over this. And when it's all budded up, they just are, you can't walk by here and talk to somebody because it's so loud. It's like the air is buzzing with all the pollinators. It's so cool. But yeah, I'm so happy with this one. Really want to replace this as a red twig dogwood. Really want to replace this with one of these. But it'll be fun. I'm hoping that I can get one that's a little bit older and more mature of this so that it's not like because yeah, that might be a little bit tricky. So we'll just have to see. In here, my partner just actually put these up. I think they look great. He put those up while I was changing. So that's so nice. I think those look great. Yeah, I think they look really good hanging here. We were worried because the brackets that these hanging baskets came with, they were like too short. They're not big enough for the basket that came with it. So that was kind of funny. The Thunbergia is starting to climb, which is nice. Not as vigorously, and I'm just assuming that's because of the shade, because I have been fertilizing it. So yeah, let's go ahead over to the veggie patch, okay? And I need to paint this still, but we'll do that soon. I love all of these. These are like wild asters. I think they look so pretty. They're like a soft, whitish lilac-y color. They're really pretty. I like those. I think our veggie patch is looking the best it's ever looked. Okay, let's go on in. Come on in. Yeah, it's looking so beautiful. I'm so happy with it. So I guess I'll start right here in the front. This bed we just planted up with, we pulled out all of the lettuce that was in here. It had all bolted, but we made such good use of that. And we put that in the compost heap. We did pull up the sorrel, and that's because it has gone to seed. It was affecting the flavor, and I'm sure maybe if we had cut it back, it would have been fine. But you know, it was taking up very valuable real estate in the beds. And this bed does actually get a bit more sun, so we might try the sorrel again, but it was kind of a trap crop because it was getting eaten. So we just figured, you know what, we'll leave it for now. And I just wasn't feeling super inspired by it. So we pulled that up and we replaced it with some beautiful broccoli. So, you know, this was getting eaten, and we got this from the same day that we got all of those annuals, because these were on sale too. I think it was like $2 for all of these or something like that. It was amazing. And yeah, hopefully these put on a lot of growth and we're able to harvest a few heads of broccoli. We love eating broccoli, and it's so much better when you this is one of those crops like tomatoes where it's like the fresh version, the homegrown version is so much better than the store-bought, I think. Here, we pulled up the lettuce that was here. This was red velvet in the front of this bed, and we replaced it with some purple cabbages. Red cabbage, that'll be nice. Our beets are looking good. Look how great the side looks. So this was like all of our leftovers, basically all of the seeds that I had planted. I had, you know, sown so many seeds, and these were kind of our extras. So one day my husband came out, husband partner, I use those words interchangeably just in case you were confused. But Bert came out and planted all of these up one day. I think we're gonna actually create a border out of it so that that can kind of be our like overspill area where any of the things that don't fit into the beds, you know, I sow so many seeds that I want to make sure that we have some extras, like let's say in case something doesn't do well here, we have that as sort of insurance. But we have kale, eggplants, tons of zucchini that already have some pretty sizable zucchini on them. The yellow squash back there, but you don't have to come close because I'll show you some more. We have the rhubarb, beautiful rhubarb, and oh, our peas here are looking spectacular. It is just such a lovely one. This is the super snappy. At first I wasn't a huge fan of the flavor, but I actually think it has grown on me. I do like them quite a bit, but I think it's chipmunks that are coming in here because I saw one scurrying in, and I think they're climbing all the way up our supports and eating the peas out of the pods, which like you could be annoyed by, but like it's so cute. Look at that. But there's just like tons of like pods on the ground that don't have any peas. This is, yeah, this is what they look like. They just kind of come in and just take the peas themselves. But this one has been producing so heavily that it hasn't mattered. I come out with my little harvesting baskets and grab as many as I can. And really, this is just a Georgie crop. That's just, she just gets to eat all of them. But I think they're really, really nice. They're just such a delicious crop, and they're really fun and easy to grow. I definitely still prefer the Oregon sugar pods, but these are really good. So this is our Diva cucumber, and you guys, if you haven't grown this one, I highly recommend it. They are delicious. I specifically wanted to get a cucumber that didn't have as tough of a skin, and it was just perfect. We were gonna save it and go have it with some dip or something, and we just ended up sitting out here and eating it. It's just heavenly. Well, so nice. Very, very sweet and beautiful. It's covered in tons of cucumbers, which I'm really hoping that we get. The other ones have already been afflicted by some kind of disease, and they're not doing well. So I hope this one stays and we can get a bunch more cucumbers from this. But we have tons of peppers that are ringing this. Some of that chocolate mint. Our herb bed is looking beautiful. It just looks so happy, and our echinacea is finally blooming. This is such a soft, beautiful pink. That was a bat. Fun. Pink, it's like soft pink echinacea that's just gorgeous. It kind of clashes with our marigolds, but that's okay. Our kale beds are looking beautiful. Here they are. They're just looking stunning. I love the way that it looks. I think like rows of vegetables just look so satisfying to me. And oh, I love kale. Not a lot of you guys watch my kale video, but if you're interested in things to do with kale in your garden, or if you've never grown it, or if you've never tried it, I have some amazing kale recipes. If you wanted to check that out, I can link that for you guys. But it was, yeah, I'm really proud of that video. So. And those of you who did watch it really liked it. So anyway, thank you to you guys. This bed is filled with begonias, and I'm so happy we did that this year, because the last few years, you know, like I've said in other videos, this was just waste of a bed. And weirdly, the borage is coming up here, so we have borage and begonias. But that's a kind of a pretty thing, is to have that blue flower next to all the pink. I think that's really nice, and I'm glad that we planted something in here that filled it up. That's so nice. Here are our Oregon sugar pod peas. It looks like the chipmunks finally found this bed. They hadn't found it for a while. Oh, there's a lot on here too. That's great. I need to start some more of this. I keep forgetting to do that. I need to start a bunch more seeds. Do my midsummer sowing. Anyway, oh, it's so fun. Oh, our peppers here. I didn't show you, but there's a giant pepper on that side, which I should probably go grab because we're making tacos tonight. But here, look at this. I don't want to touch it, but see this cucumber? It's just looking horribly bad. You know, we have tons of four-striped bugs, and which are the lime green ones with 4 stripes on them, and the cucumber beetles, which are the yellow ones with the stripes. Both of them look like circus bugs, but yeah, they just eat these and take them down, and they spread diseases. So that's what's going on here, which is really sad. I'm excited to have more of those. A lot of people here grow their a lot of their cucurbits, like cucumbers and zucchini and things like that, under protection just because of the cucumber beetle. You know, I've talked to different farmers here who grow tons and tons of produce, and they just say that you can't, you know, in this area you have to cover those in order to get a crop. So that would be fun. It would be so fun to get just a little, maybe make a little greenhouse out here so that we could have an area where we can keep, you know, have a little bit more control over that. Would be nice. Do you mind if I put these in your pocket? All right, our pot here is looking lovely. I love this little herb pot. It's so nice. This is a lemon verbena. It's actually starting to flower a little bit. Oh, it smells so, that's crazy how much that smells like lemon. Just smells like a lemon. Our zucchini, look at these. So these are the Dunia zucchinis, and these are my favorites. We have some, I pulled the lettuce, but we have some really lovely arugula in there. That's so nice, but look how glorious that looks. I'm so happy with these. And we've already had, you know, harvested a bunch of zucchini off of there, which is so nice. Our sun gold cherry tomatoes are looking great. Loaded up, you know, I came in and cleaned them up really well. But yeah, they're looking really good. It's hard to sort of cut them back just because I kind of have scarcity mindset sometimes about it. I don't want to lose them. I don't want to cut them back if we don't have a chance to have more. But this way they're going to get more airflow and they'll be healthier. And yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. It looks so much nicer. We had arms and legs splaying out all over the place, and now they look a lot tidier. Over here we have another bed of ardunias. This year we were really focusing on planting less per bed, but making sure that so that everything could have its proper spacing. I think last year we planted 4 of these zucchinis in each of these beds. So we had 8 total in each of these, and in 2 beds, and it was like they were all over the place. But we're just sticking to the varieties that have performed really well. We're testing out like a few new varieties of things, but yeah, that's kind of how we're doing it this year. We got a nice big old guy here. There we go. He's looking good. That's a beautiful color, that emerald color. Love that. You guys, while we're here, just look, it's starting to happen. So for those of you who have been here for a while, you'll know that my goal was just to have a wall of color in the background here. And it's like a step over wall. It's not quite there yet fully, but it's really starting to happen, and I'm so excited about it. The celosia that I started from seeds, that seed, the pampas plume, is just looking wonderful. I love these. Here, let me come over here so I can show you. So this is the pampas plume. This pink one, the soft pink. Can you see that? Yeah, that's so nice. This vibrant pink, and this looks like more of a coral shape. Like, doesn't look as much like the plumes, the pampas plumes. This one's looking a little spindly, but this one over here looks gorgeous. Can you see that? It's really a big one, but that's so nice. It looks like little candles. Look at this. This is the lemonade? No, apricot lemonade? Yeah, apricot lemonade. Cosmo. They're looking a little funny, like something's going on with them, but I love those colors. I just think that's so pretty, and I think that combination of those colors together is really nice. Oop, let me see if I can, like that. I think that's nice because the ring in the center really matches. That's nice together. It's a nice combination. And then we have the zinnias. And we have, look at those bright orange David Howard's dahlias are looking great. We have the bluebell dahlias that are starting to bloom. They were leaning up, so I had to push them over, but here, let me show you. They are looking nice. There's this, can you see that? A really pretty color. And those are all budded up. Our sweet peas are doing something. Let's see if we can get you to come this way, huh? Like that. Let's get you to go. Maybe under here. So yeah, I really want to like have things that can fill in the background here. Whoop, so that we can kind of cover the fence. I think that looks so nice though. I'm so happy with it. Our sun gold, another bed of sun golds, and these are looking great. I think they're gonna start turning that beautiful orange color here soon. Oh, I want to show you this dahlia. First of all, our corn is looking great. It's already starting to form the cobs, which you can tell because it's a little silken hair and wind pollinated, so you need to plant them in a grid. But yeah, they're really doing something this year. The past few years, nothing has happened with our corn, and finally we're seeing something, so that's really nice. Let me see. Oh, look at this zinnia. Isn't that a gorgeous color? So vibrant. And then we have our pink dinner plate here, which is looking really happy. Some morning glories climbing up, nasturtiums, salvias, more celosias. But look at that. That's the Rip City. Oh my gosh. First of all, I love how tall it is. Second of all, I love that it's open, which means that the pollinators are going to be able to enjoy the center. And I just think it's beautiful. It's so, so nice. It's so happy. Here are our pumpkins. We planted a bunch of pumpkins and squash and cucumbers and cantaloupes and everything like that in the side area here, hoping that they would just climb up and over. They've decided to climb that way, but that's totally cool. The ones that are on the outside here, the cucumbers that are on the outside, they're forming up and they're starting to look really, really good, and they haven't been afflicted by whatever's getting that one disease-wise, but the deer are eating it from the outside. So the stems are all like, they end right there because they're all being eaten. This side we planted up as well, and this is tons of cosmos, nasturtiums, tons of zinnias. We did the Cinderella peach, and oh, here's our bean bed, and it's all formed. There's so many tiny little baby beans. So that's just gonna be so great, and our whole tripod is gone. It's like our cousinette bed, but I love it. Bean bed. We've been growing them on the sides, like where all these flowers are each year, to sort of grow up the fence, and they've just never done super well. We've gotten a decent harvest. You know, we've had harvest of beans every year, but look at this. I mean, they love that soil. We put compost in all the veggie beds, so they love that compost. They just have loved it, and they're doing so well. Next year we need to put them on a bigger structure so they can really climb. That's been the lesson this year, aside from the tomatoes, which actually, even the tomatoes, that one looks, look how tall. We could have done that 15 feet tall, couldn't we? Our raspberries, this is our first year with this raspberry, and they got eaten by birds. We had a few and they got eaten by birds, so we didn't get to try them, but that's okay. Do we have any more zucchini? Oh, over here. So this is an exciting bed. So in this bed we have okra and some yellow summer squash. And the okra is forming, you guys. They kept dying back. All of the okra, just almost every single day in the spring, it was like I would water, and then the next morning they would be like flat on the ground, and then I would water, and then they'd pick up by the end of the day, and then they'd be flat on the ground. So I just started thinking, oh my gosh, this whole bed was okra. So I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna plant in some of the squash and just see what happens. And then they picked up, and look at them. But the little okras are starting to form, and they look so fun. Also the yellow summer squash. Look here, can you come in and see? Look at that. Look at that forming, isn't that fun? And they look so healthy. Look at that one. That one looks quite large. That probably could be harvested. That looks great. Oh, and while you're here, I'll show you these. So that's the little okra forming. See? Let's see. Here we have on this side the same bunch of different flowers. This is the Sensation Picotee Cosmo. We have some status that's starting to bloom. This is the apricot, Cinderella peach zinnia. And tons of cosmos. This bed, oh, there's a ladybug. Oh my gosh, is it eating something finally? Oh my gosh, please. Yes, eat things, my darling. This bed is all of our eggplants, and it was just getting destroyed, totally destroyed by the four-stripe bugs and the, oh, one of you told me what it was, the weird little beetle. It's called a tortoise beetle, I think, or yes, a tortoise beetle. And that's an interesting bug. That is a crazy bug, and kind of like their babies are kind of gross if you want to read about those. As nice as that description was, but it's yeah, they're a super interesting bug. But those ones just completely ate these. I mean, they just turned them into lacy remnants. But we're getting eggplants. I thought this was just gonna be a no-go on this bed, but can you see this? Here, maybe come in through here. Look at that. So we have a combination of Turkish Delight and Dancer. And over here we have pumpkins and squash and cantaloupe. Same thing that's on the other side, but they're doing so much better on this side. And we have baby boo pumpkins. Let me see if I can come in here and show you. Let's see. Can you see in there? Do you see them? This is so exciting for us. Bert was saying, like, this is a year of firsts for us, that we've tried so hard for 3 years, and finally we're getting them. We've learned new things every year about which varieties to grow and where to put them. And we're finally getting some pumpkins. That's so fun. And we have a cinnamon girl pumpkin over here, which is so nice. Got some AME, some more Queen Anne's lace there. Whoop. Surefire red begonias. I love those. Here is another beautiful dahlia. That looks like the Rip City, actually. Is the other one Arabian Nights, maybe? That looks like the Rip City. That's really pretty. It's like a smoky black purple, like almost a smoky maroon. So if you, I don't know if you can see. Do you think you'll be able to see the pumpkin? Right in there. Oh, we have one more in here. Let me get him. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's lovely. We've already harvested a few today, but those look great. And I have to go get that pepper, but oh my goodness, you guys. It's just such a glorious time of year. I'm so happy with how the garden is looking. It's just the best. I think it's the best it's ever looked. It's just so wonderful. We're gonna see if we can get a chip drop and try to really put some wood chips down in between the beds so that we don't have to come bring the battery operated weed whacker over here. And yeah, but this is just so nice. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I love being out here. It's just a dream. So I think we'll grill these up. Our pepper, this is an ace bell pepper, and these zucchini, and we're gonna have some really delicious tacos. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for joining. Like if you like, subscribe if you want to see more garden tours and gardening content, and I'll see you again very soon. Okay.